Jurassic World Rebirth is the latest movie in the Jurassic Park franchise, this time following Scarlett Johansson. She plays a character named Zora, who's put together a team to go off to an island. In this island, she is looking for the three biggest dinosaurs to extract their DNA, hoping they can get some medical cure out of it. They will soon find mutated deadly dinosaurs. And that's all. Putting aside any spoilers to you guys, this will be a spoiler-free review. We are on the 7th Jurassic Park movie. It is kind of crazy to think about 7 movies now in total with this franchise, and it's been a pretty up and down journey. I think we can all agree the first movie is an absolute classic, while the following sequels have just never been able to quite capture that magic. All for different reasons, but I still get a huge kick out of a lot of those sequels, even if they don't ever exactly match up to the quality of its first. Like, it's freaking dinosaurs chewing on people. Yes, please, always hand deliver that to me. But I will admit, even when this new movie got announced, there was already a bad taste in my mouth left from Jurassic World Dominion. I still consider that movie a monumental fumble. They built up to a world where dinosaurs were everywhere, a blend of old and new cast members, and what we ended up getting just really made me not want to see a Jurassic Park movie for a long time. But Universal, of course, had other plans, and they fast-tracked this movie, bringing in Gareth Edwards, casting Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, okay. I really didn't start to get excited for this movie until I started seeing the trailers that they were implementing horror elements back into the franchise, and, well, you reeled me in with that. Honestly, I just needed to have an entertaining, enjoyable time with some people getting chased by dinosaurs. And with Jurassic World Rebirth coming out of the movie, I am unfortunately mixed, but I'm leaning mixed to positive on this one. Let me go into things I loved about it before I go into some of the things I disliked. So for one, I do think Gareth Edwards was a great choice to direct this movie because he not only puts back the scale into the dinosaurs, that's one thing he's very good at. All these dinosaurs do feel large, big, have this overwhelming presence on our main characters. But the most crucial detail that has been lacking in a Jurassic Park movie for so long is the fear of dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are scary again. Yes, that's what I've been wanting from a Jurassic Park movie, is to genuinely be terrified of a dinosaur. And there were multiple sequences throughout this movie, whether it was characters on a boat getting attacked by a mosasaur or them on land getting chased by a T-Rex. Like, I can't tell you the last time in a Jurassic Park franchise that I was getting scared for a T-Rex coming after you. Because the one thing I hope people appreciate or keep in mind with even all their negative thoughts on this film is that sense of wonder back into the dinosaurs. You think back to that first movie where Alan Grant and the crew see dinosaurs for the first time, and it's such a monumental movie event that it's like, wow, that could only have been captured once in a lifetime. The movie attempts to put that awe and wonder back into the dinosaurs. I appreciated that majestic beauty look back while also still making them terrifying, because there are a lot of great set pieces in this movie. It starts off really good with this boat attack scene where family's being terrorized by a mosasaur. Again, I talk about that river raft scene with the T-Rex, probably one of the most suspenseful parts of this movie. But there's a couple other, and all of these set pieces and moments you get where characters are running from dinosaurs, I can't remember one super memorable scene from the last 3 Jurassic World movies that made me feel the way this movie did multiple times. Maybe the scene where a bunch of soldiers are fighting the Indominus Rex in the first movie.
Evacuate the island.
There are slight moments of the Indoraptor in the mansion, but again, it's a dinosaur in a mansion. I want to see these dinosaurs on their land. It's kind of the fun of Jurassic Park. To me, it's just the back to basics refresher this franchise needed, because we were getting to the points with freaking dinosaurs with laser beams attached to their heads, and I was thinking, what are we doing? Why are we in Italy, Fast and Furious style, running away from raptors? I do think the characters in this movie are fun enough. There are definitely better ones than others. Some of the standouts to me were Jonathan Bailey. He has a very interesting backstory that I think fans are going to enjoy. But he's also the lover of dinosaurs, the ones that believe these are majestic, sacred creatures, is very knowledgeable. And in fact, it's a handful of speeches throughout this movie that are likened to Jeff Goldblum's character in the original film. Mahershala Ali's character of Duncan Kincaid, I think, was just like that classic tough guy you'd see in 90s action movies. Because with the simplified simplified plot and direction of this, it does kind of have like that survival 90s action movie. In fact, I totally think this movie is pulling a lot from Jurassic Park 3, which will either excite or disappoint some people. For me personally, outside of the first movie, Jurassic Park 3 is my favorite of the sequels. I love the horror-esque vibe of that movie of just a group of people go to an island, they get taken down one by one, the Spinosaurus, the family angle, them being stranded and trying to survive. A lot of that gets put into Jurassic World Rebirth, and for me, I enjoyed that aspect. Sure, it's not the heightened pedestal story or approach you would want for Jurassic Park, but man, is it a repeatable, super entertaining one for me. I'm a big fan of just starting off with a big crew of tough guys with guns thinking they're gonna run this island, and then one by one they're picked off by dinosaurs. And you did also have that family element with this father and kids who accidentally also get stranded on this island and have to figure their way out. The movie will cut back and forth between the two, and I found equal stories just as fun. I have seen some people complain they didn't like the family. I really enjoyed the family, minus one character in there. I think you'll be able to tell right away which is the most annoying character of that family. It was enjoyable trying to see how they survive on an island where they weren't prepared for at all, as opposed to this military team with guns, weaponry, and knowledge of the island also struggling to survive. So really, that's like the biggest positives you're gonna get with Jurassic World Rebirth, is putting the fear back into the dinosaurs, making them feel grand and majestic. The set pieces that I think have just been lacking in the past couple Jurassic Park movies, and an entertaining enough approach. If we get onto things though that do hold it back, okay, where to begin? I really hate to say it, but as much as I like Scarlett Johansson, and I do believe she's a talented actress because I've seen her pull off some really amazing performances, this movie does not do much for her. She's not an awful character where it's like, oh, I could not see her hold the next 3 movies on her own shoulders. They need to replace her. No, it's not that bad. It's just, she's also just not that interesting. They toss her off so many like cheesy one-liners, which again goes back to that like 90s action movie approach. But a lot of those lines come off wooden, or they're meant to be funny and the audience isn't laughing a lot. And I guess that'll actually be kind of the biggest fault of Jurassic World Rebirth, is its screenplay, because sometimes it's just very clunky. From a lot of the jokes not landing to the movie feeling like it has to over-explain and fix in plot holes as it's going. There was a lot of those moments when watching this movie, like with the big evil dinosaur of this movie, the D-Rex. The whole point of this specific part of the island is that it's all mutated dinosaurs. And one character obviously asked the question, it's like, well, why didn't they kill these dinosaurs when they were babies and they knew they were mutated? And another character has to respond with, well, each dinosaur was 72 million. You want to just kill a $72 million project? And there's so many lines out there like that where they present something and then a character quickly has to justify that plot point. Like the dad with his family on a boat out in the middle of nowhere where dinosaurs now exist. The character goes, why would you be doing that with your family? And he's like, well, there's 500 other boats. I just happen to be the one that they attacked. And jumping off that point with the more back to basics storyline, I think it's going to feel very safe for a lot of people. It gets to the point where you could tell who are going to be the characters that are going to be chewed off by dinosaurs, who will be the people that live, and it even gets so predictable to a point you can tell which character will die by which dinosaur. But probably the biggest negative here, and the thing they were marketing kind of so hard, was the big bad dinosaur, the D-Rex. Yeah, unfortunately, the D-Rex, although has a great opening for the movie, by the time he comes back into the film, you're completely have forgotten about this dinosaur. But I do like the way it's used in the film because he feels like this mutated, scary creature, but man, it just does not get used a lot. I feel like this thing has a total of like 4 minutes of screen time in the entire movie. And I know that's going to disappoint a lot of people out there because I wanted this to be a big thing throughout the movie. It could have been cool if they had it sparingly show up moment to moment, almost like the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3. But no, it just comes and goes when it pleases, and when it's there, enjoy it while it lasts, because it ain't for long. And it's a lot of these things that make this feel almost like a B sequel to a bigger franchise. You know, Jurassic Park used to be an event, used to be a really big deal. And as much fun and entertainment I had with this movie and the dinosaurs, it just feels like such a simplified, safe version that slightly starts to scream cash grab. I've seen some people complain that they think this movie also doesn't really tease what's next for the universe. I do think there actually is a tease. There's no post-credit scenes in this movie. It's not what I mean. But the way things end off and where the characters head, I do think there is a door open for what could happen. But this overall is treated almost like a one-off adventure where we might never see these characters again and we could start off somewhere else. But if I'm being honest with you, It's them Jurassic Park 3 vibes, man. I feel like this one is going to be endlessly rewatchable for me, where I think I could pop this one on more than the last two Jurassic Park movies. I think I like it about as much as the first Chris Pratt Jurassic World. So when it comes to Jurassic World Rebirth, I'm going to give action 4 stars. I still am a big fan of all the dinosaur set pieces of this movie. Like, that is the thing that is going to make this higher on my list than other Jurassic Park films, because I think there's a lot of memorable, great moments with dinosaurs chasing our main characters that actually had me on the edge of my seat. Commenting the movie, I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. There are attempts of a lot of jokes, and some of them do land, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them are clunky. A lot of them are one-liners, kind of cheesy. Drama in the film, I'm gonna give it 3 stars, man. It's a very simple back-to-basics story. It does enough for what you need, a purpose for these characters to go to an island and interact with some dinosaurs, but it is missing a lot of that depth or intrigue into the world. Suspense in the movie, I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I thought there were a lot of great suspenseful sequences with those set pieces involving dinosaurs. Like I said, I can't remember feeling that on the edge of my seat in the last 3 Jurassic Park movies, so I really appreciate that, and I hope people do, even if they don't like the movie as a whole. And horror in the movie, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. There is something so nice about 7 movies in, and the dinosaurs actually feel threatening again. You're actually scared when one pops up on screen, especially the T-Rex, because for a lot of these movies, the T-Rex is now the good guy, but in this film, like, the T-Rex was terrifying. When it comes to the 3 Cs, I think the ones to enjoy the movie the most will be cinephiles for those larger, bigger scale moments, those set pieces, the simplified story that goes back to the days of a 90s action movie. Casuals will enjoy it too, but critics are going to be overly harsh on the simplified plot. So when it comes to Jurassic World Rebirth, maybe because it was channeling those Jurassic Park 3 vibes I love so much, this ended up being an entertaining, fun time I'd recommend in theaters. Again, that's just my opinion on the movie, guys. I, of course, would have wanted something that's maybe a bigger return to the franchise, but I really did like what they did so far, and even with some of its flaws, I think this is a really entertaining Jurassic Park movie. Let me know your opinion on Jurassic World Rebirth, if you got around to seeing it, what you like, what you didn't like, what you think should be next for the franchise. If you're interested in a spoiler review, anything and everything, be sure and like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.